Cambridge English Skills, Real Listening and Speaking 2, by Sally Logan and Craig Thane. Published by Cambridge University Press. This recording is copyright. CD 2. Work and Study. Recording 2.
Nice to meet you, Declan. My name is Lilian Oliveira, and I'm pleased to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks a million.
I'm in the marketing team, assistant manager.
Oh, right. Nice to meet you.
Is this your first time in Brazil?
Yeah, so it is. It's amazing.
It's the place that never sleeps.
So I've heard.
Well, I have our schedule for today.
Ah, grand.
First of all, you'll meet my colleague, Teresa Silva.
Yes?
She's the sales manager.
All right.
You can talk to her about exporting our coffee to you in Ireland.
Great. And what time is that?
At 10 o'clock in half an hour, Teresa is going to come here. Then she's going to introduce you to Paulo Souza, the marketing manager, at 11:15.
Right.
And after that, you're having lunch at 12:30 with Fernando.
Fernando Pinto.
Yes, he is our CEO, the Chief Executive Officer. And later on, after lunch, you'll be able to visit the factory. You can look at all the brands that we have and see what you like best. That will be at 2:15.
Right. Now, will there be an opportunity to do some tasting?
Of course. We've organized that for 3 p.m.
Fantastic. That's grand. Looking forward to that.
After the visit, you can come back to the hotel. You'll be back by 4:30. Relax a little, and later on we'll have dinner at 8 o'clock.
All right.
And we've arranged a visit tomorrow morning to the plantation, if you'd like to go.
I'd love that. How far away is the plantation?
Maybe 400 kilometers from São Paulo.
Right.
But the company, has hired a helicopter, so you get there at 11 a.m.
I've never been in a helicopter before.
Teresa will go with you, and you'll be shown around by Vitor Gomes, the plantation manager. I hope you like it, and I hope you'll buy our coffee.
Recording 3.
What am I doing at 10 a.m.? Who am I meeting at 11:30? Are there any plans for this afternoon? What will happen at the end of the day?
Recording 4.
This is your schedule for the day. First, you're going to talk to the sales manager, Paul Johnson, at 10 o'clock this morning. Then at 11:30, you're meeting the marketing manager, Sarah Phillips. After that, you'll have lunch with the marketing team at 12:30. This afternoon, you'll be able to visit our shop, if you want. I've booked a taxi to the airport at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Recording 5.
What kind of business are you in?
Now, I own 3 coffee shops, cafes, a small chain in Cork in Ireland, and so I've been looking at coffee to get some good quality coffee to import. Now, I went to visit a company called Café Perfeito do Brasil. I've been talking to them and tasting some of their coffee. It's been wonderful, it has.
Yeah, I know that company. Very good coffee. What are you going to do? You want to export to Ireland?
Well, I plan to make coffee that is better than some of the big chains, with a better quality flavour. Because I often feel those large chains, like, the flavour of the coffee is not good. So what I've been looking for is high quality beans to make top quality coffee. And it seems to be working. Business has been good. I'd like to expand and open up more cafes in other cities in Ireland.
And did you drink good coffee here in Brazil?
At Café Perfeito, I had very good coffee, so I did.
Yes, I think you will be very happy with this company.
I hope so.
You like São Paulo?
Yes, but I wasn't expecting it to be such a big city. It's like being in New York. All these high-rise buildings. Yesterday we went on a trip to a coffee plantation by helicopter. It was grand.
Recording 6. A.
I plan to make coffee that is better than some of the big chains.
B.
I'd like to expand and open up more cafes.
Recording 7.
So, Francesca, we've been working for an hour or so now. Do you want to take a break?
Yes, please. That would be good.
Okay. Do you want to talk about what you've done so far?
Yeah. Well, I've already filled the sugar bowls.
Oh, great. So you've done all of them?
Yes.
Fantastic. What about the knives and forks? Have you put those out yet?
Yeah. I've put them out.
Okay. They're all on the tables?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. And have you also done the napkins?
Yes, I've folded them, but I haven't put them out yet.
Okay. I'll double check as well. It took me ages to learn to fold them correctly.
If it's no good, tell me and I can do it again.
Yeah, no problem. How about the water jugs?
Yeah, I filled the water jugs and put them in the refrigerator.
Thanks.
But I haven't put the menus on the tables yet. Do I have to put them out?
Yeah, we should do that before we open.
I'll do that later. I've put flowers on every table, but I still need to put the salt and pepper out.
Okay. We also need to put glasses on all the tables. I noticed that there aren't glasses on the tables.
Oh, sorry, I just forgot.
That's okay. We've still got an hour or so, so you can do that now. I'll check them after you've done it. And maybe right before we open, we should light the candles. But we don't want to do that yet. Maybe just 15 minutes before service time.
Sure, I'll do it later.
Okay. Okay, do you have any other questions?
Do you want me to cut the bread as well?
Oh, yes, please. See you later then.
Recording 8.
Okay, well, that's it. They were the last customers, so we're done for the evening. So how did you find it? How did it go?
I enjoyed it.
Oh, good, good. Oh, that's really nice because I think it went really well overall and you're very friendly and natural with the customers.
Thank you.
Well, there are just a few little things.
Sure.
I noticed that the food, the plates, sort of stayed on the table for a few minutes after the people were finished. But usually what we like to do is, once both people or everyone at the table has finished, can you just make sure you clear the plates as soon as possible?
Okay.
Yeah, this way they can have a bit of space and have some time to just chat a bit and if they want dessert and yeah.
Okay, I'll make sure I do it next time.
No, it's not a big deal. Like I said, it was just a little thing.
Oh, yeah.
And just one more thing. It'd be really good if you could just try to keep the water glasses filled. Just fill them if you notice that they're empty as you're walking around or when you're taking orders.
Okay. I thought if I do that, probably I'll just interrupt them.
Oh, good point, good point. No, it's fine if you can just very quietly go over and fill them.
Oh, okay, I'll do that. Thank you very much for the advice.
How about tips? How did you do?
I got about £35.
£35? That's pretty good. Actually, that's really good for your first night. Most people only make about £15.
Really?
Yeah. Like I said, I think you're a natural. And sometimes on your first night you make a bit less, but that's actually really good. But you work for it, don't you? Do you have any questions or anything you want to talk about?
Not really. I enjoyed working here.
Yeah, like I said, you did really well. And it gets easier as you go on. The first night's always the most difficult one.
Thank you.
Recording 9.
The plates as soon as possible. There are just a few.
Recording 10.
Oh, right. Yes, sure. Sure, Anything else? Okay.
Recording 11.
Hi, Raman. It's Brad here. Look, I'm afraid I won't be in today. My son is a bit crook and he's off school, so I have to stay home to look after him. I'm really sorry to leave this message for you, but I've got to take my son to the doctor. Do you remember the training session next week? You know, the one about the new computer system? I've organised the trainer, so there's no need to contact him, and I've booked the room, but there are a few other things that need doing. I need you to organise the projector that goes with a laptop. You can do that with reception. And you'll need to sort out lunch for about 10 people. Yes, that's right. There'll be 10 of us. Talk to Alison at reception. She'll know some good cafes we can order from. Oh, and stationery. Yes, I need you to make sure that everyone has a notepad and a pen and one of those, what do you call them? Sorry, I'm not thinking very clearly this morning. You know, one of those really big things like a pad of paper for writing up notes. Flip charts, that's what we call them. Yeah, a flip chart would be really useful. One is enough, with some marker pens to write on it. Really sorry to leave all these instructions for you on a phone message, Raman, but I'm sure you'll know what to do. Might call you back to Savo and see how you've got on. Bye for now.
Recording 12.
Hello, Alison.
G'day, Raman.
You know how Brad has asked me to order lunch for our training session next week?
Yeah, how's it going?
Well, I have 2 prices for the lunch and I'm not sure which one to choose.
Okay.
So the first one is from the Tasman Cafe. It's more expensive, $300 just for the food, and the delivery is an extra $10, but I could go and get it myself.
They're just in the high street, aren't they?
That's right. And the other price is from the Lunchbox. Do you know them?
They're a bit further out of town, aren't they, in the shopping mall? They're quite good.
Okay, so which cafe do people normally use?
Well, it sort of depends on who is coming to the lunch. This is just for the training, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Right, okay. Well, I'd probably use the Lunchbox then.
All right. Why?
I mean, if the lunch is for managers, then you'll probably use the Tasman Cafe.
Well, the Lunchbox is $250, so it's definitely cheaper.
I mean, the food from the Tasman Cafe is probably nicer. What's the difference in the type of food?
Well, the Tasman Cafe has gourmet sandwiches, not just ordinary sandwiches. So, you know, the food will probably taste better from the Tasman Cafe. And also, you get sushi. You get much more variety. But the Lunchbox is cheaper. Mind you, with the Lunchbox, we have to pay delivery, and that's $20. Their delivery charge is more expensive. So that makes it a total of $270.
What's the total for the Tasman Cafe then?
Well, if I go and pick up the lunch, it's $300. So it's only a difference of $30.
That's not bad. It's much nicer food for the money.
Let's order from the Tasman Cafe then.
Yeah, beaut.
Recording 13.
The Tasman Cafe has gourmet sandwiches, not just ordinary sandwiches.
Recording 14.
A. There's vegetarian sushi, not just ordinary sushi.
B.
We can get hot savouries, not just cold savouries.
C.
They have chocolate cake, not just orange cake.
D.
They sell fresh coffee, not just instant coffee.
Recording 15.
Hi there. I'm ordering food for the conference. Can I ask you some questions?
Yes, of course.
Do you prefer hot or cold food?
I think cold food is easier.
Okay, and what about drinks? Do you prefer hot or cold?
Hot drinks are better.
I'm trying to decide between a buffet or a sit-down meal. What do you think?
A buffet is more convenient.
And should I order fruit or cake for dessert?
I think fruit is healthier.
Recording 16.
Hi there. I'm ordering food for the conference. Can I ask you some questions? Do you prefer hot or cold food? Okay, and what about drinks? Do you prefer hot or cold? I'm trying to decide between a buffet or a sit-down meal. What do you think? And should I order fruit or cake for dessert?
Recording 17.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how to manage money. I'm afraid I'm not going to tell you how to get rich quick, but I will tell you some simple things you can do that will help you save more money. So, I'm going to give you 5 tips. Simple but important advice to make sure you manage your money successfully. Now, the first point, and perhaps the most important one, is about how much you spend. It's really important that you don't overspend. For example, if you earn $2,000 a month, don't spend $2,500. This is really simple. You have a problem if you spend more money than you earn. Spending less doesn't have to be difficult. You can just cut back or reduce what you spend by a little, just a few small things. Then it can make a big saving. Maybe just buy 1 cup of coffee a day instead of 2. These small changes can make a difference. The next point is about how much you earn. It's important that your salary is appropriate for your job. It's okay if your employer pays you too much, but make sure he or she doesn't pay you too little. Find out how your salary compares to other people doing the same kind of job in 2 or 3 other companies. If you're going to work long hours or have lots of responsibility, you need to make sure you're getting paid enough. Another important point is that you need a budget. That's a simple plan of what you spend your money on. If you have a plan, it will make saving money a lot easier. Everyone needs a budget. It doesn't matter how much money you earn. I can't stress this enough. Make sure you have a budget. And make sure you use it. Don't just write it and forget about it.
Recording 18.
Okay, now my 4th point is about managing your debt. Before you borrow money, think about what you are borrowing it for. It's a good idea to borrow money to buy assets, for example, to buy a house. And it's a good idea to pay for your education. These things will still be worth something when you have finished paying off the debt. It isn't a good idea to borrow money for non-essentials. For example, expensive clothes, holidays, or dinner at a nice restaurant. It's easy to use your credit card for these things, but your credit card can get you into trouble if you don't use it properly. If you use credit cards, and I don't recommend it, it's important you know how much you are spending on them. Then, when the bill comes, pay the total bill every month. Don't just pay the minimum amount. Don't just pay a little every month. Don't just pay $20 a month because you will always pay more. You are paying the interest, what the credit card company adds on in interest. So at the end of the day, that watch you bought for $100, if you pay it off slowly, that watch is going to cost you double that. And my final tip for managing your money is to plan your savings. It's a good idea to save about 10% of your salary every month. Include this saving in your budget and try and increase how much you save every year. You could do this by increasing what you earn or decreasing what you spend, or both. Try and focus on saving money, not just paying the bills. It's another way of looking at things, and it's a lot more positive. So, there are 5 tips for managing your money successfully. They are simple, but they work.
Recording 19.
So, welcome to English Studies International, everyone. Welcome to the school. My name is Anna, and I'm the Director of Studies. All right, so the first thing is, what's happening today? So, from 9 a.m. until 10:30, you'll do some tests. You'll have a written test that tests your grammar and your vocabulary, okay? You will also do a self-assessment. Self-assessment is you think about your level. You think about your speaking, your writing, your reading, your listening, and you decide your level. Now, it doesn't matter in what order you do the written test and the self-assessment. You can either do the test first or you can do the self-assessment first. You will also have an interview. That's speaking, a speaking assessment. So you'll have a written test, a self-assessment, and an interview. These 3 help us decide your level. All right, so that's from 9, and then after you've done the test at about 10:30, you can have a break. After the break at about 10:45, Rebecca will be waiting for you in reception to give you your books. At 11 o'clock, please come back here to the Learning Centre, and Stuart, the manager, will give you an introduction to the Learning Centre. At 11:30, you will meet Christine. Christine will talk to you about the social programme at English Studies International. These are all the activities that you can do after school. So that's until midday. Then at midday, I will come back. You will meet me again, and I'll give you your timetables, your personal timetables, that will tell you your class and your teacher and the rooms. Then you can have lunch in the canteen. During lunch, Berit will be in her office if any of you have accommodation problems. Then this afternoon, you could either listen to a talk about London, or you could do a conversation class if you know London already. You will start your normal classes tomorrow morning.
Recording 20.
Before we begin the first activity, I'd just like to talk about a few classroom rules, to help your learning. These are rules for all my students. Okay, so the first one, the most important rule, when you're in here, inside the classroom, you must speak English. You all have lots of different first languages, so it makes sense to use English to talk to each other. So, we've got 2 Italian speakers here. When you're in class, you must speak only in English. Okay? It's a really good way of getting more speaking practice. A second rule is about being on time in the morning. Lessons start at 9 o'clock, so you must get here on time. Before 9 is even better, so we can all start studying together. It's not really very polite to arrive 20 minutes late because it disturbs the people who did come on time. It makes things hard for your classmates. And another thing, mobile phones. You mustn't use your mobile during the lesson. Again, it's not very polite. In fact, please turn your phone off completely during the lesson.
Recording 21.
What was your first lesson like?
It was fun. We did a lot of speaking.
Just speaking?
More or less. Getting to know the other students. And our teacher talked about some rules in the classroom.
What kind of rules?
Well, we have to speak English all the time, and we have to try to be on time in the morning.
That'll be difficult for you.
Yeah, but it is okay to arrive 20 minutes late.
20 minutes?
Yeah. Oh, and we aren't allowed to have our mobile phones on.
Recording 22.
You have to speak English in class.
Recording 23. A.
You have to speak English in class.
B.
You have to arrive on time.
C.
You have to turn your mobile phone off.
Recording 24. A.
At 9 o'clock.
B.
Of course, you can wait in the classroom.
C.
I'll give you some most nights.
D.
Yes, you do. We'll use it in class all the time.
E.
Yes, of course you are.
Recording 25.
So, what are you doing outside class to improve your English?
Speaking. I try to speak a lot. I talk English with Japanese friends. Only English.
Oh, cool. That's really good because sometimes it's really hard to speak English to people who speak the same language as you.
Yes. It's difficult to speak English.
Don't worry if you make mistakes when you're talking. It's important people understand you, and a few little mistakes often don't matter.
Okay. It is not easy to speak English. First, I think in Japanese and translate to English.
It will get easier. Just keep practicing your speaking a lot, okay?
Okay. But, I want to study listening this week. I want to watch DVD.
I think it's important to watch DVDs in English. Do you do that?
Yes, I like to. When I watch DVD, I can listen to English, natural English, and vocabulary and pronunciation.
So, when you watch DVDs, what do you do? Do you use the subtitles, or how do you do it?
Of course I use subtitles.
And do you watch all of the movie?
Yes.
Okay. What some students find really useful is to watch part of a movie. But you could watch this part 3 or 4 times. Just watch maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And so you're not watching the whole thing, just a short section. And the first time, why not listen for general meaning only? Don't try and understand everything. And the second time, listen and try to understand more detail, what each person's saying. And then, the third time, turn the subtitles on. Okay, so the first 2 times, watch it without subtitles. Okay? So then you'll be listening really carefully. And then after that, you could listen again a 4th time and focus on vocabulary or pronunciation. So rather than watching the whole thing, it's still useful, but actually focus on a short section and watch it again and again and focus on different things each time. Does that sound useful?
Yes, it does. I'll try that.
Recording 26.
Okay, Mayuki, here's an advice sheet that will help you. First, you need to set some goals. You need to think about what you need to do in English. You've said that speaking and listening are important for you, so think in a bit more detail about what kinds of speaking and listening are important for you. So, for speaking, for example, do you need to talk on the telephone or in everyday conversations? And for listening, what sort of things do you want to listen to? The news, seminars, presentations? So, think about your speaking and listening in more detail. So, for you, what are your goals?
My main goal is to talk to foreign visitors easily when they visit our company. I need to talk about my job. I also want to talk to people when I go overseas on holiday.
Okay, good. Next, you need to find things to help you reach your goals. Find material. Use listening and speaking books in the Self-Access Centre. Conversation groups, friends, lots of things help. I'll show you some things later.
Okay.
And then, once you're studying, once you're actually using those things, you need to stop and think about your learning. Ask yourself questions about what you've done. What did you learn? Maybe you learned a lot, or maybe you didn't learn anything new. How useful was it? If it was useful, then you will probably use it again. Do you need to change anything? If it wasn't useful, you need to decide if you will do things differently next time. You might want to make it a little bit easier next time, or more interesting. You need to stop and think about what you studied. Okay?
Okay.
If you do this, it will make your learning a lot better and a lot easier.
Recording 27. 19.
It's a thing for going online. You know, a small computer.
20.
The cafe has chocolate cake, but the shop only has fruit cake.
21.
What's your schedule for today?
22.
What are your learning goals?